If any of you'd like to, ask me any questions or anything, I can keep playing for a while. If you want to talk about some of the techniques I use, or feel free to do so. I'll do my best to explain things to like what I'm doing. And like some of you, probably already know what I'm doing with, with some of the harmonics I use. But if there's any questions, just you look like you wanted to ask. Well, I say something.
Well, I'm gonna look through to see if these probably have an answer.
Yeah.
I got some questions.
Okay. All right. I'll play another tune for you.
Well, one thing.
Yeah.
Where did you come up with the idea of doing harmonics? I mean, it's something different than not a lot of people delve into such a...
I got the idea about 10 years ago or so, or maybe 15 years ago, and when I heard Chet Atkins play a few harmonics. I heard him doing something like this. Look like he was doing it here. It was just, or maybe this was it. And I noticed that he did that on one of his records, and I learned how to do that. So what he's doing there is a 4-note chord. So one finger plays these 2 notes, and the other 2 notes, right, look like you raise those up an octave. So you're going, right, you play the harmonic with this and you pick it with the thumb. If you want to use a straight pick and do the same thing, you hold the straight pick with these 2 fingers, right? With these 2 fingers here, and use your, look like thumb to get the note. So then I got an idea, instead of playing them both together like that, to alternate them like this. Right? So I had one note, and then a harmonic, and then a note and a harmonic. And I noticed that it went da 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 da, right? I said, well, maybe I can do that with more strings. Maybe I can do it with 5 notes. Right? Once I started with that, right? So if you play a 6-note chord or a 5-note chord, as long as you don't double any notes in the chord, that look like it'll work. But it won't work on chords like if you're playing, say, a D minor 7th, and you got 2 A's in the chord or something like that. Look like an octave apart. So you have to make sure it's a chord that has 5 different notes in it, or at least 4 different notes. Anybody else? Yeah.
When you played your harmonics with the melody,
yeah.
Did you use your baby finger?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, I used that finger. I don't know. I just got used to it, And I was born with a little finger that's kind of deformed. It doesn't stay in place with the other ones, and it's already bent. Right? It's already bent like that. It won't go straight. So in other words, it's lined up just right. It works good for me. Yeah, it just works right. Somebody else may want to use the 3rd finger. Look like when it comes to playing those harmonics, But I use the little finger. It works good. But and then another thing that I do too to get different kinds of chord voicings. Say I want look like say I'm playing a C major 7 like this, about the guitar voicing, right? Now say if I want a Bill Evans type sound, then I want a cluster in the chord. I want to put the C note right next to the B, so that you'd have this, right? So what I do to get that sound is I play the chord, but I raise the root up an octave with a harmonic. And then you got to pick the rest of the chord with these 3, right? So you're picking the rest of the chord, and then you raise this up an octave, so you get this sound. Now you can move this all over, see? Right? You're always 12 frets apart. 12 frets away. So if you had to play that chord and move it around, it would look like this. Right? That's a lot of work. Right? If you're going to try to get there fast, You know, like it's hard. So I'd say that this way is much faster. Yeah, it's worth like working on the right hand. You know, it takes maybe 6 months or so to get your right hand together, or maybe even if, you know, like 6 years maybe. But you know what I mean? But with a lot of practice, and you know, like it would save a lot of work.
Lenny, in doing that, when you're plucking with the real notes,
Yeah.
with the fingers and then the harmonic on the bottom, getting the balance between so that you can get the harmonic out. A lot of times, difficulty people
Right, it has
have
to be
is
balanced. It has to be balanced. If the harmonic is too weak, and you pick the chord like too hard, it's going to kill that effect, because then you won't hear that harmonic. So like you try and pick the harmonic loud and pick the rest of the chords soft, and you can have your fingers already on the notes. In fact, like this, see, right? They're all ready to go. So I'm not picking very hard at all. I'm just picking like this. I'm just barely. But of course, I got nails too, right? So if you got nails, you know, like your nails will give you a clear sound, like that, and then the harmonic's got to be loud enough. You know, but with experimentation, you know, like you sit down and do it, and like after a while, like you'd be able to get that. Anybody else?
from that point, then you start getting into arpeggiating them and also hammer-ons. We
Yeah.
pick hammer and then
Yeah.
pull-offs.
Yeah.
You talk a little bit about that.
Let's see. What he's saying there is, see, like by going up the neck like this, note, harmonic, you know, like that's the pattern. Like you play a note on the D string, play the harmonic on the E string. So you're going. Then you go to the next two strings. Play a note on the G string, and then play the harmonic on the A string. So the pattern goes like this: note, harmonic, note, harmonic, note, harmonic, and all the way up. And then when you go down, look like when you want to go back, you start with the harmonic first. You play the harmonic, and then a note. Harmonic, then a note. And there again, you want to try and get a balance there. You know, you want to get a balance, like you want the harmonic to be loud enough and the note to be soft enough. You know. Oh, and he was mentioning like pull-offs and pull-ons. Well, what I do is I go up the scale like this. Right, I'll do a hammer. Or else I'll go down like this. But you know, it look like it's almost like look like playing a C scale, like pull off. So that's an extra technique. That's something that I added to the technique that Chet wasn't doing, right? So it's a nice effect, and you know.
Were you playing on the note or the harmonic?
What do you mean?
Well, like you were hitting the note and then a harmonic. Which of those did you pull off on?
Oh, okay. Well, see, look, I'm using a kind of a C major 7 type look there. But don't let this string fool you, because it's a high note, right? So I'll try and look at the real guitar like down. But here's the major 7th of C right there. Well, actually, I'm thinking an A minor 9. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking an A minor 9, but I play my A minor chord, look like straight across the neck, like this, and add the 9 there. So it's like an A minor 9th. So you play the C note, and then the 9 is right next to it. Then you pull off,
Okay.
right? You pull it off and play an A note. And then when you go up, you just...
So you're playing harmonic, note, regular note, and then pull off.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you ever use harmonics other than the octave? I mean, like...
Now, do I use these three?
Yeah.
I use them once in a while, but
It's kind of hard to get out.
it's, I use them to a certain extent, but, I find them kind of limited, to certain keys, like you'd be in certain keys that way all the time.
Yeah.
But I'll mix these with these sometimes. What I do is I learned this from, I have to say, I learned it from Chet Atkins, right? So anyway, it goes like this. And all that is this, right? You play a harmonic there, and then you play one here. But this note first, and then this note. And then you go up and do the same thing with the next two strings. And it sounds like a G, kind of a pentatonic scale. Or it's almost, look like Oriental sounding too. Right, so I use that, but mostly I'm into this thing, because this I can play in all the keys with it. Shall I play another tune?
Yeah. Before you do that, I want everyone to take particular note of the economy of motion and the efficiency of your hands. Unless the hands are doing something, they're still. Even when he's talking, his hands are so efficient. It's beautiful to watch.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's the economy, and well, the idea is to try and play something with the least amount of effort. I read that somewhere in a Zen Buddhism book. It says like the simplest way to do anything is without any difficulty. Yeah, it's easy to say, but it's not easy to pull off. Yeah. I'll play another tune here. Here's the tune I've been working on. It's a Bill Evans composition called Funny Man.
Thank you.